All right, guys, we're at Palmetto Point in Eustis, Florida, and the only disc that we have is the Innova Cheetah. So if you guys have watched, we learned that the Innova Cheetah is supposed to be the most accurate disc for me. So why not take it out to one of the most difficult courses in the area and try and beat the league leader from the last round that was played here. I mean, it sounds like a great idea. Nope, probably not. Real quick, here is the list of scores from the last event. I brought it up right on UDisc so you guys can see here. Looks like 5 under was the hot round here. A couple of guys shot that actually. So we'll have those scores up on the screen. We'll compare them to my score as we go through the round so that you guys can see if I am able to beat the league leaders with just an Innova Cheetah. All right, here we go. Here comes the first shot on hole 1 with the Cheetah. We are cold. We haven't thrown any yet today. Looks like it's turning over to the right of it. That is not looking like a very accurate throw. I threw it way too hard. We're not going to be able to get a birdie on this one, but definitely we're off and running. So trying to beat 5 under. Some of you might say this is a ridiculous challenge. How could just you with one disc end up beating the scores of anyone who played out here in the last league round? Well, I'd say it is crazy, but that's just the kind of challenge that I generally like to take on the disc golf course. So I enjoy trying weird and random things like this and just seeing what's capable with different discs in different situations. So took a par on that first one, headed into hole 2, even par. What about you guys? Do you guys enjoy doing one disc challenges? Have you ever done one without a putter? I feel like a lot of people only end up throwing a putter on their one disc challenges. So this one's a little bit different, a little bit more unique. Sometimes I do a driver, this a fairway. There, our first shot on hole 2. We wanted to go right down the middle, but after that first one where we turned it over on hole 1, I think we overcorrected just a little bit, ended up hyzering out. We're in the rough over there on the left-hand side, and if you've ever played at Palmetto Point, you know the rough can be rather treacherous. You're going to be searching for discs quite a bit. There we found it. A little bit of an interesting line here, trying to get it through a couple of trees. And that's looking great. Hyzers out right over to the basket, so that's right back on that main path. It's just a long straight hole, really. So we got back on track there, and we'll have a putt at it for a par. So hopefully we can get this one here and get to 1 down. Yep, there we go. Who needs a putter when you have an Innova Cheetah? Off to hole number 3. This one's a par 4, and it's a little bit tricky. Pretty wooded, good number of trees right down the middle on this one. So I'm actually going to aim right at those center trees, and I actually, basically, if you hit them and you fall to the ground, which is what's going to happen right there, you should just have an easy up and down to get the birdie. But if you push through them or get just inside of them, you can actually have a look at an eagle. So this is a fine shot here. Should be able to up and down for the birdie. And there's the up shot. That looked good. Should be inside the circle. And we'll have a little bit of a putt here with the Cheetah. And there we go. There's another bird for us, headed into hole number 4. Right before this round, I actually was on Innova buy-sell trade, and I saw a guy looking for KC Pro Cheetahs, and it made me think, man, I need to get myself a KC Pro one instead of this DX, and you're going to see why in just a second here. Turn that one over again, just like on hole 1, trying to throw it too hard. Nailed that tree, and when we get up there, this disc is not looking great after just 3 holes. It is warped, no longer flat whatsoever. You can see I'm looking at it. I'm trying to show it to you guys, but you can't really see it all that well. So I don't carry much DX plastic in my bag, but at the same time, I don't know that I'm going to end up throwing the Cheetah so much that I need to be looking for a KC Pro one. And we know that those are getting pretty brittle these days too. So I'm not sure that would be the greatest idea. So I didn't end up buying one, but I'm also sort of intrigued and almost wanting to get one. I don't think I ever had one. I had a KC Pro Gazelle, but I don't think I ever had a KC Pro Cheetah. Here we go, lost over in the rough again. It's actually a little bit closer to the basket than I thought, so there we go. I have a line at a putt here, so we have another chance at a birdie. It's a little bit of a tough position. There's a couple of palms to sort of contend with and get past, but hopefully we can get this knocked down. Nope, just a little bit underneath it, so no shot at the birdie there. Hopefully we can save this for par, about the same distance as the one that we made on hole 3. And yep, there we go. Par on hole 4, headed into hole number 5, 2 under. That's not a bad place to be. We see that we actually would be tied with the league leader at this point. So here we go, hole number 5. I've said this before when we did our rock challenge here. This is my least favorite hole on the course. There's just a wall of trees up there, and you're throwing right into that wall of trees. That's the first good shot we've had out of the Cheetah. So I finally found the in-between between turning it over and not throwing it hard enough, and that looked really great. Made it all the way through our friendly wall of trees, and there you go. It's like an L-shaped hole, so we have a straight-on shot right towards the basket. I'm going to give this a little bit of a run since we have an accurate disc like the Cheetah. Nope, just underneath it, just missed. So we'll have a little bit of a putt here. It's not too bad. That log that's on the ground stopped it from rolling away. So there's our putt. Went ahead and made that. That gives us a birdie on hole number 5. Takes us to 3 under. So we're actually we're beating the league leader by 1 here after 5. Hole number 6. It's a short. It would be an Anheuser here turnover shot. And I tried to let the disc leave my hand with Anheuser, and that is not good for the Cheetah. It does not like that whatsoever. It goes straight into the trees that are hanging over on the right-hand side and falls down. Looks like it's still just on the edge of the fairway, so should have an easy up and down here for 3, and we'll take our par and get out of here. That's a bad up shot, but it did its job. It got up there. So we should be able to make that putt. It's on a hill. If we miss this one, it's probably rolling back down, but we made it. Got the par there on hole number 6, and we're headed to hole number 7. Hopefully we can keep this DX plastic alive through the entire round. There's a lot of trees that we can hit here. We've already hit quite a few, so hopefully we can knock that off. Use the accuracy that this thing's supposed to have. This one, it does have a left turn on it. If you see the T sign there, it's not as extreme as the T sign makes it look from this tee. We tried to get it over there, and it would have been a nice shot. It was about 2 feet too high, hit the trees up top there, and fell straight down. We're on the edge of the fairway. There is OB line over there, but we're inside of it. Easy up shot to a stacked basket. So this is, if you saw in the last hole, we had an elevated basket. This one is a dual elevated basket, so gold stacked on top of red. We should be able to tap this out for an easy birdie here on hole 7. So there you see, 4 down. League leader would have been 3 down at this point, so we got a 1-shot advantage, but we also see he's got 2 more birdies on the next 2 holes. And hole 8, this one, I either ace it or I shank it into a tree. So, and it's the latter today. We're shanking it into a tree. It is a rough upshot from there because you still have these trees to contend with, and then the basket's on top of a hill with a slope all around it. So if you go long, if you go short, you're potentially rolling down the hill, and once you're down the hill, it's a really tough putt. So I'm going to do my best to just keep this up there and in the middle. By doing so, I left myself a little bit more of a tester than I'd like there to be, especially with it being a death putt. But there we go. We ended up getting it. So I think the 1 disc challenge is going pretty well. We're now even with the league leader. And When I do these, I tend to do fairly well at them. And what a lot of people don't know is when I started playing disc golf, probably for the first 2.5 years, I only carried one disc with me all the time. And it was a driver. It was a high-speed driver. It was either an Orc or a Beast, and those were the only the only discs I brought with me. I didn't have putters, mid-ranges, anything like that. I pretty much only used one disc, so that included putting, and I played a lot, so I got pretty good with playing with just one disc. So now when I go back and I take on one of these challenges and play with a high-speed driver or anything, I end up doing fairly decent. So I think my favorite story of playing a one disc challenge, it was back in Northwest Indiana. The local course that we played leagues at had a tornado. This is probably in about 2007. It took down around half the trees that were on the course. Very unfortunate situation, but leagues was the day after the tornado, and just 3 of us showed up for the event, and it wasn't an official event because nobody was there to run it. So the 3 of us decided to have a one disc challenge, and I picked a Banshee, which I knew that I could throw overhand, forehand, backhand, a little bit of everything. And one of the other guys that I was playing with, I think he was the number 1 ranked player in the state of Indiana. I might be wrong. At least at one point he was. So he's way better at disc golf than me, right? I mean, miles better. He chose a rock, which is a common choice for a one disc round, and he was so upset that I chose that Banshee. He just couldn't get over it. So I was keeping up with him. I think we ended up about even by the end of the round, but with the course all in shambles, trees all over the place, I was able to do a bunch of tomahawks and forehand shots that really gave me some good placement advantages, and I was able to keep up with him. So that's probably my favorite one disc round I've ever had. That was at Riverside I think it was in Hammond, Indiana. So great little course. It was out of the ground for quite a few years, but it's back now. If you've ever played there, or if you've never played there, you should go check it out. At one point, it was, I believe, the oldest course in the state of Indiana. So now that it's back in the ground, I'm going to guess it has that designation again. There we go. We missed an easy putt on 9 and an easy putt on 10. So we should have gotten those. Both of them ended up hitting the cage low. That's going to cost us quite a bit at this point. We really need to make up some ground here. Really good drive there. It did push a little bit too far and into the rough. So we're going to have to try and go up over the top. It gets caught up in a tree and falls down. We will have a putt there, and we really do need to make this one for the birdie as we're starting to fall behind a little bit here. So here we go. Lean out around a tree. Hopefully we can knock this down. Overcorrected from the last 2. So went from hitting the cage to hitting the band. That seems to be the story of the day today. So I've had drives that I've overcorrected. I've now had putts that I've overcorrected. Let's see if we can get this under control. We're 4 under at this point. So still got some work to do. The back 9 is harder than the front 9. So I think I do have my work cut out for me. That is a huge drive. That's the best. That's by far the best drive of the day. I know I said the one on 5 was great, but I usually forehand this hole without a doubt. It's a nice, easy forehand for me. But that's within the range of the best forehands I've ever thrown on this hole. So great job, Cheetah. Love it. Right over the top of that, that's actually a down tree stump. The root's up in the air. That's where we're throwing to. So that's a great upshot. It did hit a tree just there in front of the basket. It left us probably about a circle's edge putt, maybe just inside. And there we go. We knocked that down for the birdie. That takes us to 5 under. So we've now tied the league leader heading into the 13th hole. All right, hole number 13. This one's, it sort of pinches down and then widens back out, and sort of there's, I'd say, 2 fairways down there. We hit another tree. That disc is beat up at this point. So again, hopefully it survives. We only got, what, 5 more holes at this point, so hopefully we can get it through here. We've tried this shot quite a few times, and it's like I don't understand. I don't learn. I tried to throw it on an anhyzer, leaned out, and it just doesn't work. It just goes right way short of the basket. Not even really an opportunity to make this putt here. So we'll lay up. We're going to take a par on this one. I need to stop doing that shot. I think it's at least the 3rd time I've done it. So hopefully I can remember not to do that anymore. All right, here we go. We knock this down. And there we have it. Took a 4. That's a par. Still tied at 5 down. So it is going to come down to the last couple of holes. We're heading into hole 14. It's a short one, but a lot of trees. So there's a gap next to that big one that goes up to the basket. And there's some of that accuracy we were looking for out of the Cheetah. We get it up there probably about pin high and a little bit to the right. So great shot there by the Cheetah. Maybe the accuracy does exist. I mean, you haven't seen it a ton so far, but I think I'm starting to get a hold of it. It's taken me quite a few holes, but I'm feeling a lot better. And boom, there's a good putt. Who needs a putter? Look out, Wizards. The Cheetah is coming for your spot in the bag. No, not really. I don't think that could be a thing. All right, here we go on the dreaded hole 15. It's a par 5. Big dog leg to the left, and that is looking like a really nice tee shot. It gets around that tree and hits a root and gets, I'd say, sort of an unfortunate roll. I wish it would have stopped in the middle, but it went all the way over to the right-hand side, which is going to make me do the shot that I was just saying that I should not be doing. So here we go, little patent pending action, and I didn't learn because look at me. Yep, there it is. Same thing over again. Over to the right, turned over into another tree, and once again we're on the right-hand side. So what do you think we're going to do? We're going to learn? No. There ain't no way we're going to learn from our previous mistakes. So same thing, patent pending, leaning out. Hopefully we throw it flat. Nope, same thing, left our hand, turned over to the right, into the bushes more. This time we don't have to patent pending, but it's still about the same shot. We're still trying to get it to go down the middle, and at least this time when it fell on the left-hand side as opposed to the right-hand side. So now we won't have to do that anymore if we can find it. Who knows? I was pretty upset at this point, so I wasn't paying as much attention as I should have. I think we got it up there. It's just past that tree. It's a tough out. I missed my throw even, but yep, we got it out of there, up there by the basket, and there we go. We're taking our bogey. Bogey 6 brings us back to 5 under, so we're back tied. We had the advantage after the last hole, so back to a tie score. Like I said, it's going to come down to the wire here, but hopefully I can pull it off with the Cheetah. This hole does move left to right. That drive was looking good, but got caught up in the trees again. I keep hitting trees with DX plastic. Really don't recommend it. I don't know that this disc is going to make it through the round even. But there we go. We're in the bushes. Little bit of a line out, and we're really just upshotting at this point. So there you see it. That one stays in the fairway. It's on the edge of it, and no real chance for a birdie here. So from here, we'll just lay up, take our par, and head into the last 2 holes. So there we go. Nice upshot. Tap that in for the par. So 2 holes left. We're tied at 5 down. Hole 17 is just a really long straight one. Lots of danger on each side. I usually throw a rock on this, my beat up rock, and just 2 shots with the rock up to the basket usually ends up doing me pretty good here. So That was a perfect throw from the Cheetah, not too hard, not too soft, stays in the middle. And we should have up and down. The basket is just past that tree that you can see that's sort of lit up by the sun there. So we're going to just go around the backside of that, and we should have an easy putt. That is not a good upshot. Fades out to the left, so that was a little bit early and not the greatest shot, but we do have an inside the circle putt. Might be on the edge of the circle. I don't know. Boom. Again. Man, that Cheetah can putt. Like I said, the Wizards better be careful, or else I'm going to be putting with a Cheetah from here on out. Looks like we got a Yager. I think the J is silent. And here we go, hole 18. We have water on the right, so we are up one stroke at this point, or down one stroke, I should say. But this is sort of a dangerous one. That was a great shot. Turned it over, bent it inside the tree. There's that same bird that we had stopped and seen on the way to hole 9. Long putt, it's on a hill, it runs down to the water, so a little bit dangerous here, but hopefully we can get this made and get out of here with the win. There it is. Boom. Huge birdie putt on the last hole. That takes us to 7 down, so we ended up beating the league leader by 2 strokes. And 7 down, it's not a great score on this layout, but it's not a bad score either. I think my best ever is 12 down. Just so you know, the Cheetah did survive. We have it right here, and I think I got it flat again. I sort of bent it a whole bunch and got it back so that it's nice and flat. There you see it, 1-disc round with the Cheetah. If you guys have played a 1-disc round and really like this, go ahead and comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.